Hi, welcome back to my Substack. Today we're looking at Tibetan number 3, and so getting a feel for the breath. Obviously, previously we were talking about maybe you can inhale one side, exhale the other, or to be nice and really slow and enjoy and rejoice in the breath. We're inhaling and exhaling in the one side and inhaling, exhaling the other side. The movements for Tibetan number 3, and without giving too many options, simplest way to do them would be to find this is one side of the movement. So inhaling, exhaling, extending as much as possible without pain in the back, and then curling down, forehead towards the knees, or forehead to the floor. Inhaling or inhaling, exhale that side. And then we repeat. So this is one side of the movement, and this is the other side of the movement. If it's troublesome standing on the knees, some props that you can use. If you have some simple yoga blocks, they can be varying hardnesses, but even the quite firm ones can be really, really a lot softer than the floor and the knees. So this can be a really nice thing to do, and can also encourage us to keep our legs working a little bit narrower, which also that helps us build strength, or that works the posture stronger overall. It's fine for the knees to travel a little bit wide, and they might even do that as you do repeated sort of open close, and eventually they might sort of find themselves a little bit more apart. Another variation of the movement, and you could to focus the movement as the spine rather than as the fold of the hips. This is fine and a great way to make the movement, and we're working really strong into the legs in this. But we might also decide we're just going to make the movement the spine. So we could open this way and then rounding, closing down, or curling the spine, trying to get the forehead to the knees, trying to keep the hips as high as possible above the knees. And that could be using the hands on the floor, or it could be trying to grab hold of the feet. And you can do lots of various things with the arms. So you might decide you're trying to rotate the arms one way and then curl them the other way. You might decide it's quite nice to find support through the head to go back. So here you could interlace the fingers behind the head. And then you might decide to curl around, and it could be elbows towards the knees or forehead to the knee. But sitting the bum down to the heels is a nice resting place. And so if ever the Tibetan is too strong, allow that resting place, and you can work the breath without working the movements if you want to sort of build up to that full 21. So that's basically Tibetan number 3. Some other variations. So I quite like as well, if I'm using a block, it can be quite playful to bring the Tibetan into balance. So if you could get both knees on the block, or a couple of blocks, and then you might even try to get those feet to remain off the floor. So here you've got all of this movement. Now if I fail, my feet will touch the floor. It doesn't matter. But I can try and keep my feet off the floor as much as possible. How much extension can I find? And then is it possible to find my way down? And here you can see my body is bouncing quite a lot. I could go hips to knees, and then see if I can go all the way back up, to travel all the way back up. And this is sort of building in a lot of control. So this is sort of, this is more, if you build the practice, or practice quite a lot to have some variations on, or if you've got quite a strong practice already, you might decide that having a playful variation for number 3 is nice. Also, it could be that if you want to work another sort of challenging version of it, is that the sort of the fullness of the hips forward and extending through that front body is like a camel pose. So you might decide that actually when you're in this place, you might be trying to reach into that camel and find that extension. And then you could hold on and sort of really open from the feet. And another way of working that, which is really challenging, is that you could have the hands to the floor, and you could try to find that inhaling, lifting those hips up and forward from that place there, as tall as you can. And then when you're ready to find the other side of the movement to come back and maybe fold forward there. So you could really make the movement as much as possible about the hips. So as in the previous Tibetans, I would use that breath recording, and a nice slow version is to inhale here for the full count and stay there, seeing what I can release, and then finding the opposite. Seeing what I can release. And absolutely fine to find your inhale breath one side and the exhale breath the other side, etc. And doing the quicker version will bring more heat into the body, and working the slower version will allow you to really feel the breath and allow the breath to take over. That's Tibetan number 3. I hope you have success with it. This is a really nice place to get into the breath. So if the breath is a struggle, this is where often in the group people really begin to start breathing. I wish you lots of success with it. If you're enjoying the practice, please comment, please share, and see you in the next video.